Welcome to your secure health insurance profile. We've developed this online form to make it easy for you to provide the information we need. Once complete, we'll be able to determine if you qualify or not for a subsidy through the Affordable Care Act, as well as make recommendations on plans that best fit you and your family. In designing this form, we had to provide space for up to 14 people in a family, with separate answers to each question for each person. What that means is that you'll see a lot of fields on every form, but most of them you'll leave blank. You'll find that many questions simply don't apply to you and your family, so skip them. For a family of 4, this form typically takes about 15 minutes to complete. You will also find that some questions require simply a yes or no answer. If you leave one of those answers blank, we assume the answer is no. Navigating through the form is relatively simple. There are 4 tabs across the top of the form labeled Profile, Household Income, Current Health Insurance, and the optional Additional Dependents tab. If you are a current client, information has already been loaded from our records into the first 3 tabs. Please review it for accuracy and completeness. If you're a new client, please enter information into the Profile, Household Income, and Current Health Insurance tabs. If you have more than 6 dependents, you can enter their information into the optional tab labeled Additional Dependents. As you go about filling out the form, the Tab key on your keyboard will move you from left to right across the form. The Enter key will move you down the column that you're currently in. So if you're entering information for one person, use the Enter key to move from field to field. You may come across some questions that are confusing or that you're not quite sure how to answer. Make a note of these questions and talk with your broker about them during your initial phone interview. You can log out and come back to the form later to complete at any time. Once you've entered information in all the required tabs, click the Submit button at the upper right-hand corner of the form. You'll be asked if you're coming back later or if the application is complete. If you select Coming Back Later, your information will be saved and you'll be logged out of your profile. If you select Application Complete, your broker will be notified that the file is complete and you will be transferred to his or her online scheduling system to set up your initial phone interview. Note that nothing happens with your profile until you click Submit and then Application Complete. In an attempt to help people understand some of the more confusing issues, we've listed the top 4 here. For someone to be counted as a member of your household, they must reside with you at least 50% of the time. College students can be considered members of your household even if they don't meet the 50% requirement, as long as the address given as their permanent mailing address is yours. Young adults up to the age of 26 may be included as members of your household, but you must also include their income as part of the household income. Older relatives, aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents, even though they live with you, are considered a separate household unless you have legal guardianship and claim them as a dependent on your taxes. We must have the following information about each person in the household, whether they're applying for health insurance or not, to accurately assess your situation and make recommendations. We need their legal name, date of birth, address, and income. We do not need the Social Security numbers on anyone who is not applying for health insurance. Any attempt to withhold information, specifically income information, may be considered by the government as tax fraud as well as insurance fraud. So let's get started. First, read the authorization of representation below. If you're an existing client, as we mentioned earlier, we've already input the information we have on you and your family. Recently, we sent you your username and password by way of a password-protected email. To get started, simply click on Login in the upper right-hand corner of this page and begin the process of updating your profile. If you're a new client or an existing client that we do not have a profile for, click on the Register button in the upper right-hand corner and begin the process of filling out your secure health insurance profile. Remember, our goal is to make this all as painless and easy as possible for you. Now let's get started.